and people thinking that everything was perfect when it wasn't, like I would go home and feel alone. My persona as a celebrity is kind of like the...
Mike want to start off hot. Let's do it.
So this is Tia Mowry. I think she's coming out with a reality show, if I'm not mistaken, right? And she's discussing, divorcing Corey, and them being out, and it looks like it's a perfect relationship. And she's saying that things aren't perfect, and then when she go home, she feels alone. Now, I'm divorced, right?
Okay.
So I've already given up on marriage to a certain extent, right?
Jeez, Mike.
No, I mean, it's the truth, right? When you divorced, like, you're not doing it because you believe in it.
Maybe you get married again.
No, yeah, absolutely would get married again, right? But you as a married guy, right? And I'm not saying like put your marriage on Front Street.
Come on, Karina, let's go. Let's do it, baby.
but aren't there times when you go out when you really not really feeling each other, and you still have to like, hey, we still got things to do.
Yeah, you mean like go out and just
whatever. Like, I mean,
man shit.
Yeah, like y'all got to go out to somebody's birthday party.
You saying us go out?
Yeah, together.
Hell yeah. We have literally fussed in a car, walked in somewhere, and you got to play it off because nothing's awkward. Absolutely. What? I thought you meant like go out.
No.
Like I don't know if she gonna let me do that. I did that one time. Different story.
Yeah, different story.
Shout out to Platinum Plus. We have literally been somewhere, fussed, walked in somebody's house, and it's like, the funny part is when y'all cross the kitchen at somebody else's house and you keep giving each other a look like, all right, how you want to play this? Like, we want to calm down. Like,
we good.
Yeah.
We're gonna hop on the same team. What we doing?
here? And then after a few drinks, you just like, all right, man, I catch you in the bed tonight. We're gonna get it cracking. But yeah, my problem with Tia's part, and it's at the beginning of the statement. She talked about how she couldn't get out of character sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with people is like, if you're not yourself and you stay in different characters or you stay in a character off and on screen, like you feel like you're playing with yourself. And I know it's probably hard when you got two actors in a home, right?
Absolutely.
And
right?
because now when they go out, they know how to turn the switch on so bad. And then they probably in the back of their mind like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like what the hell is going on there? But yeah, that's marriage though.
And that's like when she played it, I'm like, I hate when people are divorced or going through a divorce, and then you're like, yeah, it was all these places where it just sucked. Like, of course it sucks. That's why you divorced, right? Yeah. Like, I don't have to get on here and talk about my marriage and be like, is the assumption I'm divorced because my marriage was great? Of course not, right? So it's like, there's no reason to sit here and go on and on about, I felt so empty and I felt so alone. And this leads into the question, I'm getting sick of y'all also with this. People having sex with people that they don't like. Yes, people do that.
All the time.
It's not some weird thing where it's like, oh, you're just using. No, like you're human, right? We eat at places we don't like. Like there's a restaurant that continuously mess up my order.
Okay.
Continuously, right?
Sunset Sofa.
But when they get it right, it's good.
Banging.
but oftentimes they get it wrong, right? The obvious answer would be, well, stop going, right? But it's like, you know what? I'm still shooting for that time to get it right. And I think sometime in marriage and in relationships, we sit here and we're just like, yeah, everything wasn't perfect. Like every breakup that I've had, which is all of them up until this point, right? Literally every woman I've ever been with, I've broken up with, right? There's no reason to sit here and talk about how bad everything was. You left for a reason. When people perpetually make themselves victims, especially when you're 35 plus, that's like a red flag to anybody that's emotionally healed. I'm just letting you know right now.
We got to work on the 35 and up group. That group is in our audience. We got to help y'all. Even though y'all ain't the ones that's bitching. It's the people who y'all haven't invited to this podcast.
Yeah.
Who be bitching all the time.
Well, I mean, most of the men, I would say, and the women that follow us, this is top third. I always tell y'all, like, so we don't really get the argument from our audience, right? Our audience, for the most part, is sort of like, yeah, well, we get it. That's why we're here. But it's the people on the outside, and I guess people get upset because we're building this little bubble where we're like, yeah, you really can't get in here unless you're emotionally healed.
Supposed
You can't get in. Sorry.
Absolutely. Look, I want to welcome everybody to episode 157. We are late again. This is the Black Dads Club. Sorry, I'm supposed to say that part. But we're late because I had class this week. My wife is out of town. We're
not really late. We have it listed as semi-weekly anyway.
True. So, it is weekly, and we did do it on Thursday of last week. Yeah. But my wife been out of town, and my son has, bruh, that 3-year-old energy, man, is just too high. Hey, it's 7:30. I'm trying to put my man's to bed. He trying to do flips. He jumping up and down. He's screaming, and I'm just like, and I have to do this. I'm like, Roman, let's bring it down.
When you get older, you realize youth is wasted on young. You realize what old people be saying.
Bruh, you know what's funny is my dad, Roman was doing something. My dad looked at me. He said, this is how you used to do me every day. And I was like, please don't say that. He said, every day, this was you. He said, I'm just glad that you getting it. And I'm just like, man, I don't think, like, it was a mess, man. It was a mess. It's been a mess. How you been?
Oh, no complaints, man. Doing good. You know, grinding.
You ready to go back out of town?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop out. I'm gonna pop out of show folks.
Show folks.
Show. Yo, too early in the pod to be using derogatory language.
Absolutely. This is episode 157, I believe. This show is brought to you by, paid for by, sponsored by, I don't know what else. The only person who love us is NoGrease Premium in Northlake. Look, December 6th. Sorry about the mixing of last episode with that. But December 6th, we will be at NoGrease Premium. We're going to have a Illmatic celebration event. Yep. I can't wait.
We will be hosting it. It's always a good time when the bros show up.
Absolutely. And Nas is in my top 3, so I cannot wait to discuss.
That's my dude right there. This used to be my favorite rapper. He probably still is my favorite rapper. Outkast, my favorite group.
You love Andre 3 Stacks too much.
Man, that's my boy, man.
Can't get with
it. He has never missed, man. That is hard to say. This dude is a 95% free throw shooter. Okay. Insane.
You know what? I got to do some thoughts on that. I got to do some more research. Because I ran into Eugene and Jeremiah at the Common Show.
Okay.
And both of them told me, hey, with the pod, you have the better music takes. Don't let Mike tell you otherwise. So I need to do research on that.
All right. Look, I ain't mad at that, man. I can't do it all, man. Look, Barry Bonds struck out,
a couple times.
Like, it is what it is.
Which is sad. Dad tip of the week. I don't even know if I have one. You know what I would say? Yo. Never mind. I'm gonna let it go.
No. Well, I got one because I probably know where you're going a little bit. Dad tip of the week. I read a stat that said women that are the best mothers are the best mothers because they have active partners.
Okay.
Sorry. So dad tip of the week is have babies with women that you want to marry, get married to those women, and raise your children with those women. That's how you give kids the best moms.
Yeah, because these bitches tired.
We passed 8 minutes. We barely passed it.
They tired. They letting you know. You know what? Somebody
they
posted,
are tired though.
We don't have DDG on the board, but I will bring him up. I was very, very much disgusted of the amount of people. If you don't know, DDG and Haley Bailey just split up. They had a baby. Most people, like myself, just knew DDG as a rapper. I only know him as having 2 songs. One of the songs is with Blueface. Only reason why I'm stating that is because they have a line in there. It was like, I hit hoes like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, beep, beep, beep. Don't ask. It was the dumbest line ever that I love because I'm like, yo, these rappers is just saying whatever they want.
Please tell me Blueface said that.
He did actually.
So, thank God.
I was like, yo, they saying whatever they want on audio right now. And so I know Haley as signed to Beyonce.
Yeah.
Now, their careers are, what I've learned, is way more extensive than that. After they went to an Usher show, and one day we're going to get about what happened to y'all relationships after Usher sing to your girl. That is a real thing that needs to be discussed. But after leaving the Usher show...
big up the towel for knowing how to act at an Usher concert.
Yeah, she looked like she loved curving black men, but cool, yeah.
Solid take. I cannot disagree.
And but shout out to Tyler for acting appropriately.
Yes.
Your white publicist put that into play. But Haley and them, they split, right? We learned that DGG was actually an early streamer who's worth way more than Haley because he's in that world. And Haley is not just a singer, she's an actor, and things of that nature, right? So they split up, and I seen a lot of conversations online about why do people have babies and split. I love women. Women, I love y'all. Why? Y'all took no responsibility or accountability for the reasons why you and your man split after y'all had a baby. It was all because men are jealous of the attention I'm giving my newborn. And I'm not all the way here to say that that's wrong.
Dude, men are not jealous of the attention newborns get.
They're not, but
you can't neglect the man, right? But it's not because it's like newborns aren't up 24/7. It feels like it, but they're not
Facts.
up 24/7. And if you have an active partner, or if you're willing to just get out of the way, of the man being able to father his child, then you're not even going to be that wore out. And now I'm not going to say that last part.
What? Because they ain't getting none?
I was going to go there. All right. If you're not,
hold on. I've known Mike for so long. I know what he's thinking. I just got to find the PC way of saying it.
If you're not going to, the man isn't getting any, right? And the whole point that y'all holding the child is because y'all used to get it in. And if that doesn't click in your head, right, you have a very low emotional intelligence at this point. Right? It should click to you, right? Like, how did you get the baby? Like, the baby was not delivered, right?
Facts.
You were getting it in.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, if we have this, and this child was made in love, and now you're fully neglecting the man is not wrong for saying, hey, I kind of want us to get back to what we were doing that made the child. Yeah. Right? You can't use the child as an excuse to be like, well, I don't want to. And here's the thing. I get with women, there's various reasons why, post kids. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to. And I'm not saying that those reasons aren't valid. What I'm saying is you need to sit down and talk to somebody and work through that, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's your energy level, whether it's the way you see yourself, whether it's how you see your body, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're holding that man hostage in that relationship emotionally. I'm not even talking about the intimacy part, but emotionally, you're holding that man hostage. And if he's doing all he can and you're not doing all you can, you're the drag on the relationship.
Facts. I'm just saying facts like this shit is facts. For me, I looked at it. I just saw so many ladies online. Men are jealous. Men need attention.
We do need attention. Women need attention.
Absolutely. But I just laughed because I was looking for the one where the ladies was taking some accountability.
They'll take responsibility and accountability?
Yeah, and it just, I didn't find it.
You would have to unplug the internet and plug it back up for that to happen.
Blowing that shit for 8 seconds.
Exactly.
But
you want that kind of accountability on the internet. Yeah, we got to unplug it.
But I'm with you, though. A lot of times, a lot of things, nothing goes perfectly after you have a kid.
No.
Right? And I'm talking about postpartum. So I look at it as like, as soon as I picked up on certain red flags, I was like, all right, who we need to go talk to?
Yes.
Like, bump all that. Like, I'm glad my kid was healthy and my wife wasn't there yet. So it was like, all right, what do I need to do? We need to figure some shit out. And the funny part is when you're going through that, it feels like weeks and you look up and it's been 2 days. It's like, all right, this ain't, time is just moving slower.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
And if you really do it with a woman you really, really care about, like some part of our problem is we're having children with people that we really don't care about, right? If I really post my child being born, there was nothing that I would not do for my wife. Facts. You know what I'm saying? And me handling those things made me feel like I was a part of her process. Right. Facts. Whatever it was, right? Whether it was going picking something up, whether it was picking up something for the drugstore, picking up something for Walmart, ice pad, heating pad, pillows, like whatever it was, it made me feel like, hell, I'm doing something to help get her back. Right. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I enjoyed doing it. Yeah. And part of the problem why we don't enjoy doing stuff in relationships is because we're with people that we're not attracted to. Whether it's intellectually, I'm not attracted to you, right? I think you're a dumbass, but you're fine. That goes for men and women. Body-wise, I'm not attracted to you, right? Like you earn a lot of money, but I'm not physically attracted to you. Mm-hmm. So I really got to be horny as hell to really get to you. That goes for men and women. Or emotionally, right? Like you come from a good family, or I knew you, or I'm comfortable with you. But emotionally, you don't do it for me, right? You don't give me what I need, whether that's how I need to be loved, words of affirmation, acts of service, whatever it is. You don't provide that, right? But you do everything else. Right? So I'm with you. And when you're with somebody and you're not really loving that person the way they need to be loved, and that person isn't dedicated to loving you to how you want to be loved, that's when you start running into all the stuff where you be like, I don't really know if I like you.
Random question that maybe I shouldn't ask on a pod. Do you have a weight range you like your girl to be in? Sometimes when Mike be talking, I be thinking of random shit.
Gavin doing everything he can to get us canceled, boy, before we even take off.
Well,
here's the thing. Right, I'm not a tall guy, right? I'm 5'8". Right,
they're gonna kill you for that.
I don't care. I'm a short king, so whatever. All right. Now I'm stocky. All right, I'm thick. Right, I'm over 200 pounds. Like whatever you think I weigh more.
They about to kill you. They're gonna look up your BMI.
Yeah. Oh, it's off. Doctor tell me all the time I'm obese. I'm working on it. I'm old. All right. So with all that being said, I'm using a lot of excuses to basically say I like petite women. Right, going around all the way around. 'Cause I'm a sales guy, right?
Oh, facts.
Yeah. So I'm going all the way around to say, I like petite women. So weight range, you can't really give it because y'all like to make everything about weight range. I like to be able to pick you up. Let me just say that.
Okay.
I need to be able to pick you up.
You know what's funny?
And I'm a pretty strong guy.
We was in our group chat. I won't say which one. Dad's locker room talk. Shout out to y'all. And so we were having a conversation, and the guys in there, they only know one person I've ever been with, my wife, right? But they just know what's not my type.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious when girls get put in a group like celebrities and stuff, right? Let me clean that up. And so I'll be like, yo, I'm just not attracted to her. And they'll be like, because she's small. She's petite. You don't like
yes,
that.
And I like petite. Like, I love being able to pick a woman up, throw her on my shoulder, bro.
Nah.
Like, I love being able to, like, scoop my girl, throw her up on the couch. That's what I like to do. Like, I'm a very it's cuddly. Is that the word I'm looking for? I like putting my hands around my woman, picking her up and scooping her, bro. Like that's my thing. I can't do that if you weigh the same amount as me.
Nah, I want you, when you put your thigh on my face, I want to think I'm a blackout.
See, me and Gavin did two totally different things.
Absolutely. And I like tall girls, even though my girl ain't tall.
I do like some tall women.
Yeah. I used to have a height requirement. That was my biggest thing.
Like 5'11".
Oh yeah.
I'm all in there. Remember, you probably do not remember this, but no, we was in a gold room in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And there was this chick that was like, she was on the other side in the red, tall as hell. Mm-hmm. Thinking back, she probably had to play in the WNBA. She was tall. She was tall, and I would have there shot my shot. I ain't even gonna lie. I was just like, I failed, by the way, but I did shoot my shot. Yeah. Shoot.
Mike's boy has released a verse. It's 5 minutes long. Shout out to J.Cole, man. I think it's Port Antonio. I sent it to Mike last night because Mike don't listen to rap music.
I listen sometimes.
And what's your thoughts on the verse?
Well, I mean, you was like last 2 minutes. So I listened to the whole thing. Well, I listened to the last 2 minutes, and I went back and listened to the whole thing. For one, J.Cole flow is the smoothest in the game. Nobody's flow is better than J.Cole, man. I'm telling you, the man cadence. his flow is smooth.
It is.
I love the fact that those were not subliminals. Those were bliminals. Yeah. Like you might as well call the dude name, Jay. Like you might as well just said K-Dot. Like
Drake. You should call both of them.
Yeah, you should have just said the dude's name. I think it was weighing on him. And I wonder if him seeing Drake, I won't say Drake is crashing out.
Oh, I got it on the board for a reason.
But I mean, he definitely looked like he's trending in the direction of heading there. And I wonder if this was him. You know, one of the things we don't really talk about men is like, you know, fellowship and love that we have for our brothers. And I wonder if this was like J. Cole saying, like, dude, I got you. I just didn't want to get involved with you guys were into. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if this was like, yo, I'll publicly say it. Like, nobody did more for my career than you. Which I thought was very, very huge of him to say. And, you know, like I said, to, you know, be like, yo, you know, you out here talking about stop the violence, but then, like, dude, this is what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was very astute as well. So, I like it. Now, a lot of people going to say it was late.
Oh, I haven't gone yet.
Yeah. A lot of people going to say it's late. A lot of people going to say, you know, hey, this you should have got in the battle. I cannot blame a man for seeing a crash about to happen and say, you know what?
I'm out right here.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get out.
Boys in the hood when Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I can't blame a man for seeing it happening in real time. Like for me, actually, that's pretty astute.
Yeah. First of all, I like the verse. Of the big three, J. Cole he's probably my second favorite. I've seen him the most. J. Cole, it's October, bro. It's done. It's over.
It is over. It is definitely over.
K-Dot didn't submit his songs to the Grammys. They're going to win. Giving everybody a heads up. Kendrick Lamar has the longest rap song to be number one in history.
Really?
Yeah, Not Like Us has been the number one rap song since it's like came out. And I think it's like 20 something weeks. That's the longest ever. It's going to win rap song at BET Awards, Hip Hop Awards. The Grammys, AMA. I don't give a damn where it's going at. It's coming out. Billboard is going. Oh my gosh. But you coming in at the end. Let me tell you what I got. I got some of the stuff you said. J.Cole showed me, yo, when it's wartime, you got to be ready. And J.Cole showed me that he admitted, yo, it was wartime and I realized I wasn't ready. Yeah. And I think that's sad because I'm with you now. I'm at that point now. Like, bro, if you didn't want to fight, cool, you didn't fight. Even though you was talking tough and you was when I say talking tough, like, I'm the best. I'm the greatest out of all of us. I out rap everybody. You was talking tough. And then when it was time to rap, you didn't want to rap. And you started to let us know that, hey, it's a war going on. And then you realize like, oh shit, this is not rap. This is not Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. We are coming to realize this is Interscope, Live Nation versus OVO, Universal.
It looks like it's more about distribution than it is about, it's these guys not liking each other. And I think it sort of felt like that was sort of, I guess, what J. Cole realizes now and also is disappointed in. Mm-hmm. Like he sounded in this rap that he was disappointed in Kendrick.
Yeah, well, I think he was disappointed in Kendrick, but I think what I'm gathering from it is like, yo, how come I didn't know that y'all really didn't like each other? And, I think because the word on the curb is Drake and Kendrick had a conversation before they battled. Yeah. And the word is they were told, yo, Kendrick told them very clearly, like, yo, if you do this, I'm going to destroy you. This is no play. So you need to make sure you know. And J. Cole made it very clear that he got a call. Yeah. Which is why he backed out. And I think what y'all realize is when somebody who doesn't play for a reason, you shouldn't play with them. Like I made a joke with y'all. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. Pusha T, you have ruined how I look at Drake for the rest of my life. And Pusha T made it clear for me a long time ago that, yo, you need to stop looking at artists for who they are and start looking at them as a man and question them on their manly stuff. And I say that to say this Drake crash out is real to me. Don't stop the music in the club so you can get on the mic and rant. Don't do that. That shit is corny. You posting and we gonna talk about it, but yo, you posting Solange immediately after she get in a fight with Hove on your story, and we know what your feelings is about Live Nation being over this show. We know that you and Hove beefing because apparently you helped Beyonce with her dance album, and then you rushed and put out a dance album the week before her. Yeah, like this is no longer who the better rapper. This is really business, and yo, this is billionaires fighting at this point.
Yeah, I think Drake has underestimated either his opponents or he's overestimated himself.
I think both.
Good chance. It's a good chance. And when you have, when the enemy of your enemy, is on your side, right? Like if you're already fighting with Live Nation, which is, basically Jay-Z, it's not Rock Nation, which is a subsidiary of Live Nation, right? Yeah. Yeah. So when you're fighting with Rock Nation, and then, that's pretty much everything that's Atlantic.
Because if Jay-Z calls the head person at Live Nation, then the phone call gets picked
everything.
Up.
You're right. Your life is more difficult, right? And then when you fighting TDE, which is probably, I guess,
that's Interscope and Jimmy Iovine.
That's the hottest label out right now.
Yeah,
right, or one of the hottest labels. They might be the hottest right now.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. So when you have that, which is all West Coast, right? Like, and you're Toronto. It don't matter if Rock Nation and Jimmy Iovine don't really get along. If they both hate you. Yeah, they're about to make your life hell.
And oh, by the way, Lucian don't like you either, and that's your boss.
Yeah, I don't think Lucian likes anyone.
Not at all. So I think it's just interesting. And yo, if I'm Hove, all right, we got a little steam. It's offline. It's offline. It's off wax. Cool. It's a little steam. Yo, why you posting a picture of Solange after me and her, and I didn't clean this shit up at home? And this goes to your point. in this whole smear campaign that Jaguar Wright is on, and it's like, yo, you messing with married folks in married folks' homes.
Yeah, you gotta leave married folks alone. And you know, Drake is doing something that we talk about a lot on this pod, right? Drake wasn't raised with his pops.
Ooh.
So a lot of things that what Drake's doing right now, a lot of that messiness comes from when you're not raised around a man, right? Because you know, it normally takes a man to tell you like, I get why you want to do it, but just don't.
Facts.
Right? Like sometimes you just told, like, you know, I'd have had homeboys call me and they'll say something. I just like, yeah, just don't say anything. Yeah. And they be like, what? Like, it's not going to help. That's what I'm saying, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes, like most of the time, that comes from me being raised with my dad, right? It was just times where it was just like, yeah, he should say something, and he'd just be like, it's not going to help.
It's not going to help.
Me saying anything is not going to help. And I think Drake is giving you a good example of what it looks like when you're raised with just your mama.
Tell me who Jaguar Wright is.
I don't know. An artist that could have been somebody, like, I mean, just in the background always.
Because I just know her from being messy.
With the whole New York. I mean, I think she was an artist at one time. You know,
okay.
and there's so many artists that just came in, like you know, like I think one of the most popular songs, like A Milli, right? Mm-hmm. And they were just like, after she made that song, you know, she just disappeared, right? Yeah. So I think she was like one of those type artists. My understanding is she's a really good singer. So, but you know, again, Jaguar don't really come across as the most loving, mentally sound person that I've seen. So I'm not calling her crazy, but she went on Piers Morgan, which I don't know why she went on Piers Morgan. Yeah, and again, right, it's anti-black misandry. Bruh. And this is why I Dana White everything that black men do. Like this is why I do it, because they would never do this. They would never bring someone that really isn't, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for here? A journalist to talk about, you know, Euro Americans. Mm-hmm. But if it's a black American, it's like, oh, run with that YouTube chick. Yeah, run Jaguar right up there. Where Boosie at? Let's bring Boosie on 60 Minutes to talk about, you know, Jay-Z. I didn't like that.
Piers Morgan apologizing. You know, at first I was like, I wonder do he know who she is? You know, that's the other part about life. I wonder do these journalists know who the hell is coming to sit in their seat?
He probably did not. Because, I mean, if to be honest, if I'm at that level and my producer's like, yo, we're bringing on Jaguar Wright to talk about Diddy,
Jay-Z.
I mean, there's a good chance Piers Morgan would have been like, who, what?
Oh, she used to be an artist in the music industry?
Yeah, sure. Bring on, right? It would be like if you was like, Mike, we're going to bring you, you know, we're going to have on the Hatu girl to discuss what's the white guy that had used the word nigga that was a country singer?
Oh, I don't know. All of them. A couple of them.
Wilson.
You sent the video.
But again, so to my point, right? If they were like, hey, we're bringing on a Hatu girl to talk about such and such about the word nigga, I wouldn't know who they are.
Fact.
I'd be like, okay, you got them on. I ask a bunch of questions. I would. So to your point, there's a good chance that he really don't know who they are. He know who Diddy is, obviously, right? He know who Sean Combs is. He don't know who Jaguar Wright is.
I don't even know. All right, I got something to say. We'll see if Mike hops on the ledge with me. Hold on.
What does like exuding like black masculinity look like for each of you?
For me, being somebody who works in corporate America, a lot of my day-to-day is really just being an example. I've been the first in a lot of offices. I've been in offices where I've been told that I don't belong in. What's this guy doing here? Literally to my face. And so coming from an HBCU, I went to North Carolina A&T. I like to set the example that somebody who's coming out of school from there with a degree can do these things and can excel at them. So I like to set myself as an example for the people coming behind me.
Set an example for my kids, showing up for my wife on a daily basis, and then just carrying yourself with respect. I don't think it dictates black masculinity versus any other type. It's just being a man in your everyday life.
I'm jumping into the pod wars.
Like exuding.
I'm starting to stand with the people in our comments early on when they said take the mics away. Yo. All right, let me read this to you. My comment was, because I commented on this clip. I said, I'd be so glad when this convo ends. No offense, but until we're willing to have a real, uncut, unapologetic convo about masculinity, it'll just be a trending, divisive topic in our community. Podcasters, first of all, A couple of y'all are doing podcasts to get money. You don't really care what the hell you're talking to. And I feel comfortable in saying that because I own a podcast studio. So I have a lot of conversations with a lot of y'all when y'all come in here and sit down. And a lot of y'all doing this because you want, the money is gone. All right. And when I say the money is gone, when iHeart was out there signing everybody to Black Effect and them giving money and them girls took that money and go got their bodies done, that shit is done. Right.
Yeah,
you now have to build a audience that is willing to grow with you and invest in you.
Yep.
You need your own audience. Our audience, if Spotify kicks us off today, we have YouTube, we have a website. We know we got the information because people are really in here. If NoGrease said tomorrow they don't want to rock with us, we still have an audience that we can take with us, right?
Yeah.
A lot of y'all are looking to get paid. I say all that to say I could tell by the topics. They dry, they boring. You're not really talking about shit. And this has nothing to do with these brothers, but I will say this. When I listened to the clip, I was just like, why can't we tell the truth about black masculinity?
Because people are afraid to talk about it because, and one of the things that I like that we've done in the last probably 8 pods, maybe 10 pods is we have started separating sexual orientation away from masculinity.
Facts.
Right?
Shout out to me.
Yeah. Shout out to Gav with me separating it. But like that, so that's part one. Because the problem is most conversations around black masculinity, somehow it always gets pulled back into, your sexual orientation. And I'm not even saying whether or not you're gay, but even the ideal of getting women and conquering women, right? Which would be a heterosexual ideal, right? We're having to separate the ideal of masculinity from that first, right? Now we're able to start saying, okay, now that you can't really throw, I'm afraid or I'm phobic or something at me, right? Now you got to talk about when we say, all right, well, what does that look like, right? And that's why early on, like probably at the beginning of the pod, I told y'all what masculinity was, right? It's care, grace, and mercy, right? That's what masculinity is, right? My ability to care, my ability to offer grace, my ability to extend mercy. That makes me a man that has to have some sort of power over my surroundings. In order to do that, right? I can't care about you if I can't take care of you. I can't offer grace to you if I cannot harm you, right? And I can't offer mercy if I cannot have the capacity to destroy you, right? So as a man, masculinity is saying, all right, well, this should be the goal. Doesn't mean that's who you are, but it does mean this is what I strive for.
Absolutely. And I looked at that. First of all, I got to stop getting on the internet when I'm drinking. I was at the Ravens game, watching the Ravens game Sunday with my parents, and I was just bored drinking. I got to stop drinking Crown too. It's too much sugar in it. I'm drinking, and then I just saw it, and then I kept going. Then I realized, like, I'm helping y'all engagement, man. Let me let this dry ass conversation die. And I put it like this: for me, like I told those guys, the 2 comments I left after that, I was like, yo, to me, the real conversation is, showing that, hey, these men aren't masculine. They aren't men, and I'm not talking about. I'm also with you. I'm not talking about sexuality and stuff like that. I'm talking about, these are not good men.
Yeah, these are not.
This is the great example of what a good man looks like. And that's not based on your income. That's not based on your upbringing. That's who you are today and who you're trying to be. When we can have those conversations, then we can go to our women and say, hey, here are other good men that I surround myself with.
It's the ideal of, I think masculinity has been tied to macho. The ideal, of being macho. And I don't think that's from the black community per se. I think that's a Euro-America problem, right? This ideal of you need to be a savage, right? Dr. Jordan Peterson always say this, and one of the things that I disagree with is it's like, I'm not a savage, right? Yeah. I am James Bond, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here suited and booted making martinis with the baddies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, I can go ahead and handle business. But after I handle business, I'm back over here with suited and booted martinis and the baddies, right? Yeah. Like that's, to me, the ideal of being the gentleman, right, is way better than the ideal of being the savage. And I think a lot of men have this notion of, well, I want to be the savage. I want to be like, I'm going to come and tear everything up. And it's like, well, no, right? Savages always work for the guy that suited booted make martinis with the baddies. Yeah. That's who the savage works for, right? When we look at who we consider to be warriors and things, they're not kings. The warrior don't become the king. Never. The king is another guy that suited booted sipping martinis with the baddies. Yeah. So which guy do you want to be? You can go be the savage or you can be the guy that's the gentleman.
Absolutely.
So it's like we don't really have these conversations based on masculinity because it is, masculinity for the guy who want to be the savage is a different conversation than masculinity for the guy that wants to be seen as the good guy, right? And to be honest, no one wants either guy, right? The king doesn't want the good guy with him, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's just a yes man, and he don't want the savage with him because he's going to at some point have to do something to the savage that he don't want to do.
Absolutely.
Right? So the king wants the measured man to be in front of him. He wants the rational man to be in front of him. He wants the man that has the capacity for, but really don't really have the appetite.
Absolutely. I have a new favorite pastime. A couple new favorite pastimes, actually. I realized this in the last week. So Karina been gone. I've been waking up at 2 a.m, stay up to about 4. I should be working on the podcast at that time. But I've been I love, and this might be a little petty and pussy. I love deleting people off my Instagram at 2 a.m. So they just wake up and have one less follower. I cleared up 100 people. I think by the top of the year, I need to at least only be following 500 people.
Look, petty. I mean, I do unfollow people, but I don't do it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, no, I do it then.
I normally when they pop up in my timeline, I'll be like, all right, I followed you for the wrong reason anyway, girl. So let me unfollow you.
Let me unfollow you. I also like getting into Twitter arguments at that time because you can box with somebody and you will wake up at 7 and they have a long ass response. One girl was coming at me because what was we talking about? But anyway, we I might have been talking about masculinity, and she started telling me about how she started talking about gay guys and how they follow them, and I'm like,
who followed them?
She said the gay guys follow the women. I said, history has shown us that y'all get more from the gay guys than they get from y'all. I said they design y'all shoes, they y'all stylists. I was like, y'all take their lingo. I was like, what the hell you gave them besides a open platform where y'all just secretly hate each other in public? But that was the thing. She left me alone and blocked me after that. But I love following, not the baddies. Following the baddies is easy. You just follow them. You keep up with them. When they get a new man, follow him.
That's what they show you. They don't like to show who they dating.
Oh,
I still don't know who Ash Cash dating.
Oh, you got to do research. You gotta wait because they'll show you where they going. Myself. And they'll show you every once in a while. I'm like, oh, we're together, because the crash out of the baddies man be amazing. It only takes 3 to 6 months when he realized she is bleeding me dry. I can no longer afford her. I'm going into debt dating her. Yeah, and there's no need of dating her no more.
Yeah, I don't know why dudes do that. That's like what's that guy Drusky when he was dating Ruby Rose,
and
we still don't know what that was.
That was PR.
It was a PR. So who paid who? Who paid who?
That was the greatest scam on
that. I mean, because that wasn't good PR for him.
I know it looked good for him.
No,
it looked good for him.
Oh, what? Speaking of Ruby Rose, and we spoke to DDG. Didn't DDG put Ruby Rose on?
Yep. He got a track record. They showed his track record of girls he used to date.
Yeah,
they all bad. Because Haley is the young sister, right?
Yeah, she's the young one.
The older sister, she fine.
So I think Chloe said that. Who y'all think Haley is who she is. And she was like, who y'all think I am is actually who who Haley is. She was like, y'all got us mixed up.
Yeah.
Chloe I'm the good girl.
Yeah. Which we can't say who the internet said who cheated on who, but when the person gives a statement, the cheater never comes out with a statement. You can't cheat on your girl and then drop a statement online, right?
Hey, you would not cheat on your girl and drop a statement. Normally when you telling people you single, you just like, hey man, if you see somebody out there doing something, we ain't together.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great way of looking. Y'all know what time it is. Hold on.
We ain't together.
I want you to hit the flow
like stop hitting me up, bro.
Look, it's been a minute. Hold on. I want to welcome everybody. It's my favorite part of the show. Y'all know what time it is. Hold on, man. We got to do something special. I'm going to let y'all get a little church music in. See, shout out to everybody that stopped Mike at the funeral last weekend and showed us some love.
Yeah. Shout out to Gavin, the promo during the funeral.
Look. Come on. Yo.
But yeah, big ups to everybody that listens to us, man, in the Columbia and the Metro, man. We do appreciate y'all showing us love, man. Like we trying, bro. We trying.
We are trying. I am going to start doing strip club reviews soon.
I think that is an excellent idea.
And I'm planning on doing it. Platinum Plus will be at the top of my list. But I'm only gonna be talking about the Platinum Plus that burned down. Not the current. Platinum West ain't, I mean, I got some stuff to say, but whatever. All right. Let's do it. You know who.
Everybody that's single ain't single and horny waiting to get married.
I remember joining a particular ministry and being asked on my first day, "Are you married?" And I said, "No." Mm-hmm. And they said, "Oh, so am I less than because I'm not married?" And then I started noticing women who are married are held here. Women who are single are kind of held down here. And then if you're a man, you're held up here. You can't be promoted unless you're married. You are not in the same rooms unless you're a guy. You don't have access to mentorship because you're a woman and you're single at that. So you can't be mentored by a man because something gonna happen.
What do you do? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do?
I've grown. Tim Ross, he need a sex toy.
That man married.
I don't. What that supposed to mean? You think when you get married, we do get laid more than single dudes, but you still don't get laid as much as you want. And that's not for my house because I only need some twice a week. I think. Yeah,
I think that's
3 times every 10 days.
Yeah, I think that's kind of normal for married people.
I don't know. Now that's a question. now you.
Oh yeah, I mean, we should look it up. I mean, married men do get laid more than single men.
Facts.
That's for sure.
Tim Ross is a horn dog, and I understand what you're doing, Tim Ross. I'm gonna do the same thing. I keep breaking down these people what they do. Tim Ross in every video when his stats is down low.
Let me mention
pause that.
Yeah, pause. Let me mention sex.
Yeah, he mentioned sex but it's always within like the first 5 seconds of his video,
yeah,
just to catch you to now make you watch the rest.
And you know what? And the crazy part about it is that the reason why you mentioned sex is because it makes people stop because they're horny.
Yeah,
right. So people like, people's not single, people not horny.
It's and it has nothing to do with the video.
Yeah, and look, and I'm gonna always say this: a lot of y'all pastors, are doing the right thing by making sure that you don't have these single women in your face all the time. Mm-hmm. Absolutely is the right thing to do. Like, he's wrong on this one. He's like, just because you're single doesn't mean you need to be in the ministry. The pastor of a organization do not need a bunch of single women in his face, quote unquote, helping him.
All right, hold on. We might have to debate.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's some traditions in the black church that do need to die. And I think that they don't require you to be married, but they make sure they don't promote you if you're not married. And I think that women and that goes for men and women.
Yeah.
And I know women have for decades been complaining like, yo, if I'm not married, they really not letting me do certain things. I do, however, believe that pastors, it sounds bad. I'm about to agree with you. I do believe that pastors need to be married. But it shouldn't be a requirement. Some people don't want to be married. But I do think it's a dangerous game. And being married don't stop the horny.
No,
and it don't stop you from cheating.
It doesn't stop you from cheating. It doesn't stop the horny. I mean, our brother in Atlanta is very much proof of this. Like, he's staying some ish, going on. So, but I mean, again, right? I mean, there is the ideal of like, hey man, like don't, what I'm saying? Like, don't wave the steak in front of the lion, right? Like, yes, the lion full, not gonna go for the steak. But you know what? If he ain't full, it's going to go for the steak. So, like I think he's playing this game of look at me, like look at me and look at how I'm able to control myself and handle myself. Mm-hmm. And it's always funny when I see this because, unless you're just not into like the opposite sex.
Yeah, asexual.
Yeah, asexual or the other way, right? Like,
I don't know the other word.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not into women and you're a man.
Okay,
you're not into men. You're being a woman, right?
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that's asexual and not really into like heterosexual relationships, and they try to throw sexually healthy heterosexual people up under the bus. And I'm noticing this pattern with him, right? Like he wants to throw normal heterosexual people with regular healthy sexual appetites up under the bus. And when you do this, I know why. Right? And I know you play I know and I know you play and I know you playing a game. Because here's the thing. Whatever it is that you're into, if it gets put in front of you, you're going to also crumble and fall.
Oh, he into some freak shit.
And so and that's why I don't really talk, because it's like, yo, you put a brown skinned baddie with long hair in front of me and I can throw her over my shoulder. Look, I really don't have too many defenses against that. Whether I'm in a relationship or not, right?
Yeah.
I don't really have too many defenses. It's like, yo, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go home.
I'm gonna holler at y'all.
I'm gonna holler at y'all later. I gotta go home. I don't really have a defense where I could be like, yo, I'm able to hold off, for this and see her 10 times in a row.
She 5'10", she 165 with a certain cup. I'm out of here.
That ain't, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo,
me up.
that ain't a weakness, right? It's not a weakness me recognizing that I need to get the hell out of here.
Pack my skinny ass right
Yeah,
on
let
up.
me take my ass home. Are you coming over? No. Do you want to see me? No, I don't. I do.
Send it in vanish mode, bitch.
But my whole point is like, look, I get what we like, yo, some traditions need to die, but like one of the traditions of men making sure that they don't crash out in church over a baddie that's landing up at the rim for them, that one doesn't. I'm sorry, man.
It's a couple of things. I do think a couple of things we need to end in the black church. Traditions. We got to get rid of the back row. Now, I do believe in shaming, but I think we need to get rid of the back row.
I don't believe in shaming.
No. Some people be playing out of key. You grew up in a small country church that when the drummer or the organist was out of key, the old woman stopped the music. She told him to get in key. And we started back up. Well, that made strong musicians.
Well, no. Yeah, I grew up in a small church. Don't get into it. Mother Richardson would turn around and look at you and be like,
"You in the wrong key."
Yeah, like I mean, I was talking to my brother the other day. She just passed.
Yeah,
and he was saying that like one of the things that she did that helped him is she was like, "Baby, you got to find your key faster." Yeah. She was like, because she was like, if you're in the next key and you find it faster, you can move to whatever key they on, or they'll move to your key. But she was like, if you out of key, it just makes everything messed up.
Absolutely.
It makes the song worse longer.
And I was saying that you went to a small church, so I knew you saw that.
Yeah.
I saw it all the time in my granddad's church.
Yeah. Like
they would stop the music, stare at you, and say, "You're in the wrong key."
But that's holding you accountable. That's not shaming you. That's holding you accountable.
Get rid of that back row. Y'all need to start promoting more gays to the choir.
More. I mean, the choir director, the director of music. What more promotion do you want, Gavin? You want a gay choir?
Up they pay, man, because they doing it for y'all.
I mean, there's a whole church organization out there that's making gospel music. Like,
absolutely. Also, I think we need to put a cap on how much pastors can make. That's a tradition.
Oh, you ain't gonna get no acceptance on that.
What you mean? We got to start capping what they make.
Because I mean, a lot of these pastors own their churches.
That's the problem.
Well, I mean, that is the problem, but you got to fix that problem. The earnings on what they make, you ain't about to get that.
I'm capping all this stuff. And that's about it. I think, but the whole married thing, I do feel bad because there's certain people, like for instance, one of our listeners, you know what I'm saying? I always wonder if he's going to grow within his organization because he's not married.
Well, but see, here's the thing though. Like even in business, right? Like they'll tell you in business that if you don't have a wife, you're not going to get like to the C-suite.
Facts.
So there is something to marriage, and I don't want us to just like throw it away, right? Like as the good book says, he who finds a wife finds favor in the eyes of the Lord, right?
That's what it says.
I think it's in Proverbs.
Okay.
So it's one of the things where I do want us as black men to, I guess, have a favorable view on marriage. Like I really want us to. In the church, though, I mean, the churches are dying already anyway. But
that's a whole nother pie.
Yeah, but when it comes to, I guess, single people in the church, I mean, to a certain level, I guess it should be, a height that you will attain or won't attain, because you're single. I mean, and look, this isn't a new thing. People do not know this, but Paul in the New Testament and James, who's the bishop of the New Testament church, they did not get along. Like they literally was about to split the organization in two. I mean, it could be argued that actually happened. And Paul was not married. And there's a lot of theologians and historians, like you won't really see this, conversation on the internet, but like there is a conversation, in that community, religious community, of what was Paul's orientation? Like, was he an asexual man? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the thorn that was in his side? Right? Like that. So that is a conversation of like, you'll get that like, oh, Paul was gay. I don't think Paul was gay, but there's an argument to be made that Paul did not pursue sex and did not value intimacy.
I wonder how they get off.
And that I don't know. You have to ask somebody asexual. That is not me. I'm very much super sexual. So yeah, I'm like the opposite of asexual. Like, thank goodness my testosterone dropped as I got older. I could actually
see clearly.
So definitely not me. But again, right? I don't. The Tim Ross thing, the reason why I threw it in here, he's right about one thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Single people should be okay in churches and fine. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's wrong about one thing. I definitely think that pastors need to keep single women out of their face, or single men. Some of y'all done had that problem too.
Absolutely.
In the churches. Right. So I definitely think that part needs to be reinforced, reiterated. But I think the ideal of marriage needs to be one that in our community, let's just take another look at marriage and let's just say, all right, how can we do this better?
Facts.
Because the marriage thing seems to work. Like, people that are married and have been married for a while, their wealth is higher, the kids are better.
Yeah. It's a lot of benefits.
It's a lot of benefits, man. So like, I don't want us to throw away the whole marriage thing. Be like, oh, let's have a church full of single people. Like, no.
Oh, hell no.
If you got a church full of single people, why aren't y'all getting married?
Facts. Absolutely. What's funny is one of my homegirls, me and her was talking, and she was like, yo, I could have got your homeboy, right? And I was like, what you mean? She was just like, yo, if I wanted that nigga, I can have him. And I just looked at her like, yo, I don't think I'm allowed to let you talk about my man like he a chump. That's just a random thought I was thinking about earlier. DDG, this is how I also know he didn't cheat or possibly didn't cheat. You don't never say, yo, if she comes back, that's the only person I will date. Like, I'm willing to spin the block. Like, that usually don't come from the cheater either.
He missed his girl, man. Do we have that clip?
Hold on, let me see. Maybe.
Let's hear it in his words.
Oh my gosh, he got a voice in there. Hold on.
He got his church voice.
Oh. Is it his deep voice? His voice is like super deep.
Yeah, no, it ain't that.
And I'm kind of thinking he might have met somebody already, or he's ready to start dating, and he's just trying to avoid.
No. Let me say that right now, y'all. I am not dating anyone. I don't have a potential girlfriend, nor do I even think about that.
That man misses woman.
Whatsoever. I don't plan on getting into another relationship at all, unless it's Hallie. That's the only way. I am not finna get a new girlfriend.
He love that girl.
I don't have the desire.
Y'all leave this man alone on the internet.
I don't want none of that.
Leave this man alone.
Like
he might have did something.
He ain't.
I'm finna go pick my son up right after this.
There you go.
Yeah.
He might have did something.
Nah, what I hope doesn't happen to them is that they just become each other's like jump off for the next 5 years.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to break up with an ex? Like, all right, I'm fully done with you.
Well, it depends on whether or not she done moved on. Women are notorious for monkey branching. That's not a men thing. Men do not monkey branch. Women are notorious for it. So if she done monkey branch higher than you, then like she gone.
Absolutely.
Like, you got to wait for her to break up with that dude.
Ask a Black Dad segment of the day. How do you personally check your girl respectfully?
You got to check her before y'all go to wherever you about to go.
No, I'm talking. Okay. Whatever situation happens and y'all going your way home.
You got to have that conversation way before. Because this is the thing. When she's out, your woman has to understand that she's a representation of y'all. So that has to be her understanding the expectation. So it's like, yo, you can't do anything when we're out that's going to put me in a bad light. True. Like the way you talk to me, the way you respond to me, if I ask you to, for something, to do something, a question, all that is a reflection on me.
Facts.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to get that conversation has to be had before you ever go out.
Yeah.
Because because once you go out, everything you do is wrong. Right? You can't check your woman when she's out.
Yeah.
Right? Like she doing something that you don't like when she's out, everything you do is gonna make you look mad and insecure.
And they love to let you know when you're
Yeah, so it's like, yo, you can't you can't check your girl when she's out. So you can only check your woman prior to anything ever happening. Like, these are my expectations. This is how I need to be communicated with.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I like to be catered to, talked to. If I do something, I need you to handle it for me this way, especially outside of the home. Now, in the home, you can kind of get it off, right? Everybody can kind of be who they are. Now you can check your girl how you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. To, within limits, within legal limits.
Absolutely. Or respect limits.
Or respect limits. Because you need to know what's the line that you can't come back from.
Yeah.
But the ideal of how do you check your woman in public, man? Well, you got to date a mature woman. Your woman supposed to check herself in public. You need a type of woman that says, "Ooh, no, he ain't even gonna go for that."
Yeah,
he ain't even gonna go for that.
This is how I'm married, and I've been with this girl for so long, and it's been times where I've been checked.
Yeah,
nothing worse when you get checked. I didn't get home from no boss. Sometimes I didn't been on somebody's story. Who the fuck you think you is? But also in checking, my favorite thing is to ask my wife, yo, what we doing? What you trying to do here? Like, what is your goal in life? What is my goal in life? Does this help us get there?
Yeah.
No matter what the situation is, y'all can be out in. I give a funny story. This is years ago. Me and her are at a wedding. I'm the photographer at the wedding. She's my guest, but she's dressed up to participate in the wedding, right?
Yeah.
And we out of state, and we're leaving the wedding. My wife, you know how girls get when they drunk. They loud, and she acting. And I had to say something.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're leaving, and I'm talking to her on the way to the car, and I'm like, yo, what the f- is you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then she's like, what? I'm having fun. I'm like, yo, I'm at work.
Yeah.
You got to remember. And then we had that conversation. The next morning, you know what happened? She woke up and apologized. She was like, yo, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes even if it's a checking, she's going through something at work. And look, my wife then came home a couple times. I'm about to quit. And I said, whoa. Whoa. And some of that checking in is like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to go? And like she's told me, yo, what is our goal? Me and my wife know our future goal as it is. Like, we really know what that looks like, right? And me and her have questions. We question each other a lot of times on what are we doing there. To the sports thing, LeBron James, I don't know if y'all need another photographer. I would love to do it. The images that I just keep seeing of you and Bronny, it's the coolest shit ever that I think. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't around when Ken Griffey Jr. and his father played together.
Yeah. I was a kid, and it wasn't on TV the way it is now. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought it always was dope when Venus and Serena got to play together, right?
Yes.
That was just something fire just to see. Then you get the Lopez brothers. That wasn't that cool. All right. It was cool to, once you realize Travis and his brothers playing against each other, that was cool. When the Harborough brothers were playing against each other, even though they coaches, that seems cool. To have a father and son there, they look alike. If you've been following LeBron, you remember when Savannah was pregnant with Brian.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's like to watch this grow up and it's like to see it, and the pictures are fire. I don't care. You can't hate on it.
No, you can't. And for dad to still be the one that's the most athletic
in the
on the
league.
court.
Oh.
No,
I'm about to say in the league.
No, between him and his son.
Well,
like dad slamming at home, right? Like he's able to be like, hey man, you can't stick with me on the court.
Yeah, you still can't.
You still can't stick with me on the court. Like that's pretty dope.
Absolutely. I just thought that was just super fire to see. If anybody get a chance, please watch the Vince McMahon doc about WWE and its rise to fame and stardom. I will say this. They do not, and they make it very clear in the first scene that they do not talk about all the sexual stuff that recently came out, because it dropped when they were filming this, and he refused to do an interview after that. Now we got that out the way. It is 4 episodes of just like your childhood that is just amazing to see. But the saddest part to see is how Vince McMahon was willing to run over anybody to get to where he was going. And it sounds like the same thing that Jay-Z told Irv Gotti when he was like, yo, you willing to kill me to get to the top spot? And Irv Gotti was like, yeah. And Jay-Z started separating himself from Irv Gotti, right? Yeah. But Vince McMahon, you know, whether it was turning his back on his kids, his wife, his parents, he did not care. That logo, that WWF, WWE logo meant more to him than anything. And he was willing to do whatever. And it also, it made me think about watching a doc like, damn, what am I willing to do for my brand to get to where it needs to go? Now, I ain't willing to do some of the shit he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, but he was wild.
Well, I mean, all them boys are wild boys, man.
Yeah. Well,
like, you know, we keep talking about like the Diddy's and everybody keep trying to bring Jay-Z into it. Like, y'all leave Jay-Z alone,
please.
But I mean, when you look at Vince McMahon and all the guys that he know, like, bro, they all the same guys. Like, we know that Hollywood is Hollywood for a reason, and it's always been that way. Like, you know, from you going from hearing stories from back in the day, whether it was Eartha Kitt, right, or you want to go back before that, Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland, right? Like, I mean, if you just read like The Wizard of Oz, like it was a doc years ago about them making that movie, just how they made the movie Wizard of the Oz, and how terrible the conditions were. Yes, you know, in that movie. Yeah, I think like 3 or 4 died like within 10 years just from health conditions. So,
well, somebody died on the set. It's in the movie.
Oh yeah. like Hollywood has always been a cesspool, right? And the music industry has always been a derivative of that, right? It's always been very, very similar. So you can't just tell me that it's just the artist, right? Yeah. It's not just the artist, right? It's going to be from the top down because that's normally what happens, right? So when we look at everything that was going on with all the wrestlers in WWF, right? The ones that was, you know, unaliving themselves, hurting their families, on being steroids, abusive, on drugs, right? And we was just like, oh, that's just them. Well, now you're seeing that, well, it's not just them.
It's the entertainment industry.
It's the entertainment industry. It's Vince McMahon at the top.
Yeah.
It's him all the way down. So when we want to go in on artists, right? You know, we want to go in on Diddy. We want to go in on R. Kelly. When we want to go in on these people, well, who do they work for? Because this is where it's coming from.
Yeah.
It's coming from the top down.
Yeah,
right? Like someone propped up Sexy Red.
Oh, facts.
Right? Like they put her with Drake to make her what she is now. And you know, and to that point, right, when you're in that number one spot, you know, like, K-Dot, are you ready for that? Because they're going to hand you your own version of Sexy Red that they're going to say, hey, K-Dot, we need you to make this person pop, right? And then at that point, you have a decision to make. And sadly, or maybe not sadly, or unfortunately is probably the better word, most of the time, the money is just too good to say, well, let me do the right thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like, I'm a rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm going to kick it down the road. And I think the Vince McMahon doc is a good example of what goes on in Euro America that we don't like talking about.
Well, freak offs.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, don't move to New York. I know you're going to be on First Take. Do that shit from your living room.
He can't move on. I thought they do all that in he got to move to Connecticut.
No. They moved to New York. Stephen A. loves to talk about how he got First Take to move from Connecticut to New York.
So, is that no wonder he think he got all the juice? Yeah. I didn't know that. I don't watch First Take.
Me either. But I mean, when you watch it in the background through the windows, they right over there on the water.
Oh, you know Cam getting to New York. Cam is 100% New York.
Cam, I'm telling you this, buddy. Don't move up there. And if you do, you need to rent. I don't know if you can buy anything up there because it's so expensive anyway, but you better be renting.
Because Cam is 100% going to New York. This is his speed right here.
This is his speed. And I'm telling you this. Stephen A., I know you want 20, 25 million a year. I hope you get it. I don't know if you're worth it, but who cares if you're worth it? If you can get it, go get it, right?
Yeah, you can get it.
I don't work for ESPN. I say this, though. If they bring Cam in and them first couple of weeks is doing too good, buddy, your number going down. But I will say this, Cam Newton, don't fall for the traps they about to set for you. Because it's one little, I feel uncomfortable with him beside me as I'm the moderator of this show, and you're going to be packing your ass coming back down to Charlotte and Atlanta. So you stay focused, my brother.
Yeah, stay focused. He really had showed the most discipline.
Absolutely.
But good luck.
And Molly get a lot of people off that show.
Ooh.
But
Godspeed, young man.
that's all I'm
Godspeed.
saying. Good luck with that. What you got planned this weekend?
Oh no, man! I'm about to go ahead and golf right now.
Oh, there you go. I gotta go pick up my wife from the airport.
Oh man, welcome back home.
She tried me.
Yeah,
she tried me. She was like, "Yo, I see you going to Colombia for a bachelor party," and then so she started talking about the hoes. She said, "Yeah, you better get some shit that you can't get here." And then I went through the list. I said, "See, this is how women try you. They try you with some slick shit. You know what I'm saying? They try your manhood." She said, "Yeah, if you can't do it here, this is your time." I said, "All right, keep talking to me crazy.
It's gonna be y'all gonna have a great time. I'm gonna pop in on y'all.
Hey, we'll see, man. Look, man, I want to thank y'all for listening. Please get ready for NoGrease on December 6th at 7.
Come and check us out.
Come check us out. Make sure you share this with at least 6 people. Just send them the link. Don't even say nothing with it. Send them the link.
Give them a minute mark. Just send them a minute mark.
Absolutely.
Like go here.
Absolutely, man. With that, we're gonna holler at y'all next time.
Holla at your boy.